Welcome to Comics, the podcast where we look at 2 issues of comics each week. And we're starting off with the DC comic, Adventure Comics, number 210. This is a facsimile reprint of the first appearance of Krypto the Superdog from Krypton. Oh no, Krypto thinks I'm playing a game with him. He's fetching back the safe I just left at Town Hall.
What a
I don't know how he's holding on to it.
Oh, that's
what tongue?
that's the wheel.
Oh, I see it now.
Yeah.
I couldn't quite make it out. He's biting the wheel.
Okay, that's
It's like a caster on the bottom.
Yeah.
So this is a Superboy story, The Adventures of Superman when he was a boy. And this was originally published in 1955.
Wow.
Obviously, this is 2025 reprint. Yep, 1955. So,
Wow.
Krypto, you'll simply have to stop fetching me all these gifts. I'll pat you on the head anyhow.
That would be so hard to hide the fact that you were Superboy if you had
That's
Krypto.
a big part of the story.
Ah.
Look at how dumb he looks. Bullets bounce from him. He has super strength and super speed. He flies through the air. Who? Superboy? Not at all. Yet who else on Earth can have superpowers? The Boy of Steel finds out in a blend of super joy and super dismay when he meets the Superdog from Krypton.
Oh, he looks like an old hound dog.
Mm-hmm.
That's
In
weird.
Smallville one morning, the dog catcher carries on his routine duties. Another stray mutt without a license. Into the wagon you go. But in the next moment, crash! Wouldn't that be terrifying if a dog burst through the steel side of a
Look at
truck?
his face. He's like, oh.
What's that? Sounds like someone dropped a boulder on my truck. It's happening right behind you, man.
Jeez.
Passing by and observing the result, young Clark Kent swiftly changes in seclusion to his other famed form of Superboy. He hides behind a tree.
Right.
Help, all the dogs are getting away. I'd better get over there before they all scatter. Within a few short seconds, they didn't have time to go very far. Here are the last few. Then, with some old boards and nails from a nearby junkyard, there, they won't escape again through here, but what made this hole? Beats me, Superboy. There's one dog still missing. A funny-looking pooch. A funny-looking pooch, all right, but never mind. I'll find him later. Afterwards, upon returning to his everyday guise of meek Clark Kent, That's odd. A dog actually got away from my super speed roundup. Oh well, can't worry about it now. I promised Dad I'd help out in the store today. But a little later, while working in his father's store, hand over all your dough, see? Robbers. And with so many people around, I can't change to Superboy. Must wait till the crooks make their getaway. He couldn't do it at super speed.
Right. Nobody would see it.
And outside, suddenly, before the thieves can reach their escape car, blast that stray mongrels, shoot him. They want to shoot the dog.
That's horrible.
Poor little pooch, he doesn't stand a chance. But just as Clark comes racing out, funny, can't seem to hit that mutt. Am I dreaming? The bullets are bouncing off that dog just as they'd bounce off of me. That crook thinks he's missing because he can't see bullets in flight. The bullets are ricocheting toward me. I can deflect them right back where they came from.
Oh, nice move.
I know. He ricochets it to knock the gun out of his hand. Yeah, who knocked the gun out of my hand? And after police have taken over the unarmed thugs, now, where did that strange dog go? I know, that's a funny thing. He's
What
chewing
the
on the
heck?
barrel of a gun. His little eyelashes.
Yeah.
I hear him munching in this alley on bones, and great Scott, he's chewing one crook's steel gun down like a tasty dog biscuit.
Like a tasty dog.
A tasty one. What incredible mystery is this of a dog with super canine powers far beyond the ordinary? His meal done, he's taking off like a lightning flash too. With nobody around, I can change clothing and chase him down. I must capture and examine him. Luckily, he can't fly. What did you say, Superboy? That too, gosh. There's only one name for him, Superdog. And how will I catch him? The faster I go, the more he speeds up. His dumb little smile.
Look at his feet. That is bizarre. He looks like he's got
It's a weird perspective.
like the Grinch feet.
Yeah. He's a menace. He's just bursting. He's always got that doofy little smile
Yeah.
on. He's causing all sorts of mayhem.
Aw.
Suddenly, now he's stopped to play with me. He knows He acts as if he knows me. Please, doggy, enough of that super licking. But does he have all my powers? My X-ray vision shows an old bone buried here. If he spots it too... He did! With supervision, he's as much a super dog as I am a super boy. But how can this be? Where did he come from? If only I knew. Yip, yip, yip. He wants that bone.
Can you imagine super dog? Just random people falling in 10-foot holes.
I know. I think Margot's getting jealous of the super dog.
Yes, she is.
Yip, yip, yip. With his super intelligence, for a dog that is, he sensed how puzzled I am. Now he's leading me somewhere. Woof. Shortly, at a deserted field, the space rocket crashed here just recently. It probably brought him to Earth, but from what other world? Wait, this written record. Why, it's in the language of Krypton, the world of my birth. It tells how years ago, before Krypton blew up, scientists experimented with rockets hoping to achieve a workable spaceship. Before daring to send up human pilots, of course, they used test animals in the untried rockets. Meanwhile, in the home of one particular scientist, our planet may blow up at any moment. Time is too short to seek more test animals. I'm sorry, but I must use Krypto now. It's an emergency. Wah!
Oh.
Our baby loves his pet puppy so much, but I understand, dear.
Go ahead.
Of course, that experimental rocket never returned. Perhaps a meteor bounced it deep into space where it drifted aimlessly for years. And during that time, the super puppy grew into a super dog before finally reaching the Earth. Wait a minute. This record was signed by Jor-El, my father. Then I must have been that super baby, and the pup Krypto was my pet.
He wasn't super on his planet.
No, yeah, that's what I like about Krypton. It's like they're all humans, I guess, not Kryptonians, and they have monkeys and they've got dogs. Just like it's very similar to Earth, but they wear headbands, I guess.
Yeah, I wonder if Earthlings would be super on their planet.
That's a good question. What's this? Tears springing from the eyes of Superboy? Krypto, my very own dog. Kind fate brought us together again after all these years, and I can tell you're happy too. Yes, in one respect, the boy of steel has always envied his friends. Oh boy, now I've got a pet just like the other fellows. What fun it'll be with my own special dog. Whee!
God.
He's a complete menace.
Oh my
Stop,
gosh.
Krypto. Don't chase that plane. Too late. He's only being playful, but the plane's in danger now.
Oh
Crack.
my
He just
gosh.
rips a piece of the plane's wing off.
Wow.
Let go, Krypto. The plane won't drop if I weld this back on quickly. Oh golly, he won't let go, and he's as strong as I am.
Oh my god.
Gotta trick him with some super ventriloquism. Like all dogs, Krypto's sure to respond to this sound. Meow. Yup, yup. He starts running away. He looks like he's doing a butt scoot on the carpet or something.
On the clouds.
Then, within a few short seconds, a little super pressure and the missing chunk is welded back solid, good as new. Lucky the pilot was able to maintain control till I got here. As for you, Krypto, I see having my own super dog isn't going to be all fun. Your friskiness can cause harm. Look, even a super wag of your tail shatters rocks.
Oh my god. So why does he think building a rock?
I don't know. He even acknowledges it's not effective. After, in a secluded area, what you need is a super doghouse. Attaboy, Krypto, help me out. But bring me some big ones next time, not those pebbles. Shortly afterward, I forged him a collar and chain too. Of course, he could snap them easily, but those old bones I collected ought to keep him happy here for a while.
See Superman at a cemetery just digging
Yeah,
up bones.
these are human bones. Then, like any other boy taking good care of his dog, after those years in space, you need a good scrubbing with this old barbed wire I found.
Oh my
And
god.
you like that nice hot bath of molten lava, eh?
What?
I don't think he likes it.
No.
I like how Metropolis has, or Smallville, I guess, has an active volcano
Right.
somewhere nearby.
Wow.
And when it comes time to leave, he puts up a sign, beware of the super dog. I hope nobody really stumbles on him because only one master on Earth can handle Krypto, me. Next day, his newfound joy still thrills Clark Kent. School's over, now to visit Krypto. I'll have a romp with him every day. No doubt he's eager to see me too. You are so right, Clark. That's a weird... You are so right. Krypto, oh no! You came to find me. With your x-ray vision, you easily saw the costume under my everyday clothing. And where in the world did you pick up that steel girder? He's just walking around with it.
It comes from Metropolis, where the construction guys are like, where'd our girder go?
He's like dogs. You see those memes of the dog trying to take a big stick over a bridge.
Oh,
He's trying to go in that narrow passageway. Probably rips a hole through the building.
Oh.
Uh-oh, here comes Lana Lang. Must get rid of this thing quickly. Come on, Krypto, into this alley, Krypto. And she sees him carrying it.
Oh my God.
Krypto must leave too before Lana guesses he's a super dog and puts 2 and 2 together. Chase it, Krypto, into space.
What?
She doesn't see that flying through the air.
Right.
Clark, what was that big thing you carried here? Where is it? I don't know what you mean, Lana.
Oh, Clark.
Oh, yes, you do. It was a heavy steel girder. I saw it with my own eyes. You must have flung it away with your super strength, proving at last that you're a Superboy. You just jump into conclusions again, Lana. Am I? You can't worm out of it this time. I'm convinced, and from now on, I'll call you by your right name, Superboy.
What
Wow.
a jerk.
Well, I'll worry about that later. Right now, I'd better chase down that pesky dog and return the girder. After a swift change and a flashing leap into space, oh, stop it, Krypto. Those are meteors you're chasing, not cats. Come on back to Earth and lead me to where you snitched the girder, understand?
Oh my
He's
gosh.
like riding that meteor. Moment later, as the two alight, oh no, now he's after a real cat, but since he can't squeeze into that small hole, he'll give up soon enough. Crash!
Right. Oh my God. He's so naive.
Yipes, I forgot. He just smashed through as if the bricks were paper. Lucky it's an old condemned building, but that super pooch is getting to be a super headache. How could the cat ever even stand a chance of outrunning him? The poor cat.
Exactly. He could just use his laser vision to
He's
just...
super fast.
Uh-huh.
Dogs usually respond to their master's whistling. I'll try a loud supersonic whistle unheard by human ears that he'll hear from any distance. Here he comes. So the super dog at last obeys his master, and a few seconds later, you snatched the girder from this bridge under construction, eh? Must replace it before that whole steel arch weakens.
Oh my...
It's really endangering a lot of lives. I know that facial. That's like an eye, side eye.
Yes.
Back in place it goes, riveted in solid. Now I'll take Krypto back to his doghouse before he gets into more mischief. Soon, you're really in the doghouse with me, Krypto. What am I going to do with you? Instead of super fun, you're turning out to be super trouble for me, especially by giving away my identity to Lana Lang. But wait, I've just thought of the perfect way to handle Lana. All I'll need are my cape, a homemade boomerang, and Dad Kent's new ladder. What is Superboy's plan? As Clark Kent meets Lana later, hello there, Superboy. Guess you gave up trying to fool me more. You're carrying that heavy steel ladder right before my eyes.
She is something else.
They only had heavy ladders back in the 50s.
Right.
Here, catch, Lana. Haven't you heard of these new magnesium ladders? I thought they were aluminum.
Yeah.
Gosh, it's lighter than wood. And I remember hearing how they use light magnesium in construction work too, as girders. Why would they want a light girder?
Yeah.
I think they want it to be really load-bearing. And if I'm Superboy, kindly inform me who that is flying over town right now. He put his cape on the top. Gasp! That speeding form and flowing cape are unmistakable. Oh, forgive me, Clark, for my silly mistake.
That...
Later, as Superboy retrieves his cape, thank Krypto, for once you did me a good turn. By wearing my cape and trying to retrieve that boomerang I threw before, I especially designed it to circle in the air and make baffling loops so you wouldn't catch it immediately. But still, Krypto,
ridiculous.
much as I love you, you spell trouble rather than fun for me. I wish I knew what to do with you. I'll have to sleep on it. But the super problem solves itself. For the following morning, Krypto, here, Krypto. He's gone, and my telescopic vision shows him speeding away from Earth into deep space. After all, like any frisky dog, he wants to roam the universe. A mere backyard to him. Well, considering he was such a big bother, I'm glad he's gone. Are you, Superboy?
Are
Krypto,
you really?
my pal. Gulp. The only dog of my own I'd ever had. Maybe he'll come back once in a while just to say hello. The end.
And
what a menace, right?
this summer he's going to come back and save Superman.
I know.
Wow.
Want a U.S. government job? Here's how you can get paid up to $4,205 a year to start.
Ooh.
That'll pay the bills. They want men and women 18 to 55.
Wow. Oh, you
Little
got
Pete.
a little
Is that
Pete.
you, Pete? Yes, Mom. Here's my report card. You failed history. Why? It wasn't my fault. Teacher asked me about things that happened before I was born.
Oh, grown.
So one of our extra stories, the B story, is Aquaman. This is a very silly story as well. He's delivering newspapers on whaleback, as you do. I don't really know how you keep them dry. Maybe they're covered in plastic or something. Here you are, your copies of the log. And right on time, thanks to Aquaman. Extra, extra, read all about it in the snappy seaman's newspaper, The Log, featuring all the sea news fit to print. But when sinister men destroy the log's press, it remains for Aquaman, king of the waves, to solve the mystery and to leap into the publishing breach by printing the first undersea newspaper.
Oh, really?
The story starts some time ago in the corridor of a large hospital. Captain Cook's the name. Right about now, my wife is about to present me with a son who will someday take my place on the bridge of the freighter Mary Ann. Have a cigar. Oh, thanks, but I don't smoke. Moments later. Grand news, Captain Cook. Your wife just had a bouncing baby girl. Isn't she beautiful? Did you say a girl? But who ever heard of a girl skippering a ship?
Oh, boy.
One thing I will say for the Marvel facsimiles is they use high gloss paper.
Yeah.
They did. I mean, this one is $1 cheaper than the Marvel ones, but
Yeah, but the printing is good. You don't see
it's not too bad. I guess it
smearing
probably maintains the original coloring more accurately. The story ends there and doesn't resume until today, 20 years later, on the beach of a seacoast town where a vacationer stumbles across a strange sight. The log, huh? Yep, published and edited by my own daughter, Lydia, since I couldn't have a boy to continue my life on the sea, but this is the next best thing. I guess on their roof they have the log, the newspaper for all sea folk. What kind of news do you publish? Anything of interest to sea folk. Take this little item in last week's issue, a warning of an undersea whirlpool off the coast of Hatteras. So when a diver went down there 2 days ago, uh-oh, there's that undersea whirlpool I read about in the log. Wonder if it's as dangerous as the editor says. I'll drop my spear in and see. And when he did, wow, look at it getting sucked in. That's what would have happened to me if I didn't read the log regularly.
The log.
You can tell these comics are really written for kids compared to those 80s comics in the last episode. At another time, near a South Sea island where a freighter was picking up a cargo, hey, look at that terrific flower. I'm going to pick one of its petals. No, stop. Don't you ever read the log? There's a warning story in it about that flower. Watch what happens when I throw this dead seagull at it. We have the dead seagull, Andy. Great Scott, the flower's eating the gull. Right, exactly what the log said would happen to humans who came too close to it. That's called a cannibal plant. Wouldn't a cannibal plant eat other plants?
Oh, yeah.
It'd be a man-eating plant or a carnivorous plant, but not a cannibal plant. Cannibal implies it eats its own kind.
That's a good point.
Say, that's not bad, but where do you get all your news? Seamen the world over act as our foreign correspondents. For instance, one day as Aquaman was patrolling the inland waterways, holy catfish! The observation platform over there has collapsed and the young couple will be dashed to death if they ever hit the bottom. Only one way to save them, by swimming up the falls. And in the next instant, don't worry, we'll reach the top safe and sound. I can hardly wait. I want to write a first-hand account of this experience for the log. Everybody knows about the log. And that's the story of the log, the newspaper for all sea folk. Now let's join Aquaman, king of the waves, as he makes his rounds. Odd, I always thought the island was deserted, but there are people on it, probably vacationers. Just then, uh-oh, a message in a bottle. Someone must be in trouble. But when he retrieves the bottle, why, it contains a news item for the log. It's even got a sea stamp attached. But I'll never reach the log in these calm waters. Yes, sea stamps.
Sea stamps. That's hilarious.
So with a mighty burst of speed, there, I've dropped it in a current of the Gulf Stream, which will carry it to Lydia Cook's news net. Newsnet? What can that possibly be? It's probably exactly what it sounds like.
Exactly.
Next day, on a wharf along the alongside the log office. Say, Lydia, here's a great item that just drifted into our net. Due to an emergency, a plane had to lighten its load by dumping its valuable cargo near Bjorka Island. The first one who finds it can claim it. I was afraid this might happen. Must do something about it. Minutes before press time the same day. Okay, boys, you know what to do. Inside, moments later. Why are you men doing this? We never hurt anyone. Yeah, and we're here to see that you never do. I must contact Aquaman at once. When the Sea King answers the tragic summons, this will be the first issue we've ever missed. Perhaps I can help you get your paper out until your press is repaired. Hand me those printing plates, Captain. Thanks, Aquaman, but I don't know where we'll get the money for all those repairs. Soon, on the ocean floor, a strange scene takes place.
He's got his octopus typing away.
I'd rather get after those hoodlums who smashed Lydia Cook's press, but first I must bring out their paper. These monster-sized white weeds should make a good paper to print on.
What?
Now to place the printing forms into this giant clam, which will act as the press. It's very Flintstones logic.
Okay, so the octopus is typesetting. Okay.
You know, and maybe he uses the ink, or would that be a squid?
Oh.
Yeah, he makes the ink, and then the clam presses it onto the paper. And how do we know these will really work against the Green Arrow? I think we got a misprint here. Got a 4 or 5.
Well, yeah, this is 5. But...
Okay, I guess. I'll prove it with several sample thefts. Then, when you are convinced his arrows can't harm you, I will mastermind a gigantic haul, the new $10 million shopping center.
What the
A few
heck?
nights later, it's Green Arrow and Speedy. So I think this might be a reprint, because I was confused by that, because there is a Green Arrow story.
And there we go. Does that say 6? Yeah, that says 6.
Yeah, I think it's just a misprint. Green Arrow shot missed us. Yeah, I think that must belong to the next
funny.
story.
Wow.
A secret signal from the Sea King to his obedient subjects, Anne. Shoot, what are you waiting for, huh? So, you want to play rough, do you? I'll blast him myself. Double kick some.
Grabs him by the butt.
Yeah, that dolphin's got a
Ooh.
sharp little nose there.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, where'd that thing come from? Help, get him off me! And so when the criminals have been subdued, you see, the smugglers learned that you were about to print that item about the plane's rich cargo being dumped around here. They feared that the resulting treasure hunt would bring hundreds of people who would spot their smuggling base. The octopuses got them. Well, I'm glad they're caught, but we still got to worry about how we're going to get that press repaired. No, Lydia, you've forgotten the rich cargo. I had one of my Finny friends bring it up. There should be enough in it to repair your press in first-class shape. Aquaman, you're a dear.
Aww.
Play the game of hats. You all know these hats by sight. The game is to see if you know their correct names.
Ooh.
Try them, then have your friends take a chance identifying them too. It's fun. With a slight switch and a slice of onion, my hat becomes this country's favorite sandwich.
I do not
Hamburg,
know.
like hamburger. And that one, that
Number
is
1?
a kufia. Number 2.
Oh, okay.
Number 3,
Oh, I
that's
see.
a mortarboard.
Mortarboard, yeah.
Deer stalker, like the Sherlock Holmes.
Right. Bonnet? Is
Poke
that a-
bonnet.
Poke bonnet. Derby?
Bowler.
Or bowler. Gosh, I'm bad at this.
Topi. I don't know, topi.
Yeah.
8 is a boater.
Boater.
That's a boater. And then a
9?
hunting cap.
That looks like a Stormy Croner.
Yeah. Tarbosh. That was a fez.
Yeah.
Sombrero. Jeez. I don't know my hats.
Sombrero? That doesn't look like a sombrero.
Not really, no.
That's like
It's like a ranger hat or something.
dopey cowboy hat.
Your United Nations at work. A true story from the files of the Food and Agriculture Association of the UN. What every kid wants to see.
Right?
April 1952, near a village in far-off Iran. It's kind of a timely country to be reading about.
Yikes.
Why are you sad, Father? Look at the fine crops we have raised. Bad news, Ali. Swarms of locusts like this are blowing our way. They will devour our crops. We cannot save them. But at that very moment, in FAO headquarters in Rome, bad news from Iran, sir. Huge locust swarms. They haven't enough experts and equipment in combat to combat them. Crops of the entire Middle East are in danger. Not if our UN member nations will help. Send word immediately. A few days later, Father, must we lose all our crops? I'm afraid there is no help for it, my son. Ali, Hasim, look, planes from our United Nations friends. They are spraying our fields to kill the locusts. They're dumping pesticides from Pakistan and the U.S. and the USSR. India. Look, Father, thousands and thousands of locusts all dead, and our crops still alive. You are right, son. Perhaps we shall not go hungry this winter after all. Later, at a meeting of the FAO, will the representative from Iran report on the locust plague? Is it true that it is now under control? Yes, thanks to those countries who sent help so quickly. The planes and tons of insecticide worked miracles, and the technical assistance from FAO will help us prevent future disasters. Ali's family and millions of others were saved from months of hunger by international teamwork. Helping countries to help themselves is part of the job of the FAO, one of the specialized agencies of the United Nations. This is your United Nations at work. Published as a public service in cooperation with the National Social Welfare Assembly, coordinating organization for national health, welfare, and recreation agencies of the U.S.
Wow. And considering the time that was printed, that must have been some good stuff they dumped. Jeez.
Yeah, probably some cancer-causing agents in that pesticide.
Ooh.
And we have like a text narrative of the gold rush. I think I'm going to skip that if that's okay.
Yeah.
This is a comic book podcast and not a gold rush short story podcast. Weird, though, what you see in these old comics. So this is, I think, where the misprint comes from.
Definitely. Whoa.
Yeah, he's a goofy character. But yeah, let's see what the Green Arrow. You were just saying we don't do that much Green Arrow. So this is a classic Golden Age Green Arrow. Underworld kingpins long awaited the downfall of Green Arrow and his young partner Speedy, and now their hope was to be realized, for a cunning villain had struck upon an ingenious plan that would render the famed archers powerless and eventually bring about the defeat of Green Arrow. Green Arrow! All our trick arrows are going bluey. What's happened? I don't know, Speedy, but take cover. Our radio control arrow is swung around is headed right for us.
Whoa. Ah, that's what he's doing.
At least he's wearing gloves. Got his Mickey Mouse gloves out for this occasion.
If he wasn't creepy enough with that big old head.
Yeah, he's got like a hammerhead from Spider-Man head.
Yes.
An underworld getaway car swings around a city corner, the famed archery team of Green Arrow and Speedy hot on its heels. Look at those funky cars. Look, GA, they're turning down William Street. Right, Speedy. There are no turnoffs. We're a cinch to overtake them in our Arrow car. Suddenly, the Emerald Archer slams on the brakes as, great thumping bowstrings. GA, they left their car to make a run for it through an alley to get to the park. Screech. Fire the TV arrow, Speedy. It'll turn on the receiver. We'll pick up their trail in the park. We got a TV arrow.
That's nuts.
The TV arrow rockets over the park, its miniature camera recording and relaying a picture of the Arrow car receiver. So they had drones essentially back then. Those hoods are heading toward the amusement center, GA. Let's go after them. My hunch is they'll split up when they reach it. And as the pair races through the park, a strange concealed figure watches intently. GA, we're too late. They're splitting up at the park's exit. They're out of range of our regular arrows. Perhaps the radio control arrow can corral them. Ah, a new arrow to add to my collection. Excellent. My plan is working perfectly. Are you picking up the radio control arrow's signal on your belt radio, Speedy? Right, GA. I'll fire the arrow 300 yards ahead, then have it circle and imprison the hoods. Amazing.
What?
Streaking through the air, the radio control arrow overtakes the fleeing criminals and, yipes, what is it? I don't know. Quick, Speedy. We've got to nail them before the speed of the arrow is expended. And now they're securing the gangsters with their lariat arrows.
Wow, these arrows are nuts.
There they are, officers, the thieves who robbed Citibank 20 minutes ago. Thanks, Green Arrow. Once again, you've done us a great service. Well, Speedy, let's get back to the Arrow car. Right, GA? Their radio control arrow sputtered out of here somewhere. I must find it. It will complete my collection. Ah, here it is. Once I study this incredible arrow and make my preliminary tests, I can launch my cunning scheme to rule the underworld. Nobody, not even the mighty Green Arrow, will stop me. Now to meet my men. And later, in an abandoned warehouse. We've had enough, genius. Your crazy idea of It's enough, genius. Your crazy idea of pulling jobs to get the Green Arrow into action has cost us too many men. That's right, you're ruining our gangs. Tut tut, my experiments are over. I have sufficient data to defeat the Green Arrow, as I intend to prove to you. You mean you got all the info on the arrows? I don't believe it. That is why I called you here, to prove it to you. There is a replica of Green Arrow. Step behind the figure, Madden? And I'm wondering if this is where we take over from the panel. No, here it is. That's the reprint
Okay.
When I give the word, press the small button in the figure's back. That will send Green Arrow's radio control shaft directly at me. That's suicide, genius. Have you flipped your lid?
He's got no teeth. It looks like his gums are resting together.
I intend to prove to you, gentlemen, that I have not been wasting your time or manpower in my attempt to get hold of Green Arrow's shaft. Okay, it's your life, genius. Mr. Genius snaps a command, and the radio control tower, or the radio control arrow, streaks toward him. I can't look. He's a sensitive gangster.
Wow.
Genius is done for. That arrow will pin him. Nonsense. My master control unit has enough power to direct the course of his arrows. Look, it's turning away from Genius. And coming this way. To hit one of us. Ha ha ha! Do not fear, gentlemen. I will not let the radio control arrow harm you. This is merely an example of what will happen to Green Arrow when he fires it against us. By jamming the frequency of his arrow, I render it harmless and convert it into a weapon against Green Arrow himself. I have studied each one of his arrows, as you see here. But how do we know these will really work against the Green Arrow?
Boxing glove arrow.
He has 4 types: handcuff arrow, fire extinguisher arrow, booster arrow, and boxing glove arrow. And I guess radio control didn't make it onto the chart.
Right.
I'll prove it with several sample thefts then. When you are convinced his arrows can't harm you, I will mastermind a gigantic haul. The new $10 million shopping center. A few nights later, as Green Arrow and Speedy in their real-life roles of Oliver Queen and Roy Harper prepare for bed. Oliver, the arrow signal. Trouble afoot, Roy. I never knew he had like a bat signal.
Right,
The
no.
police want us. Let's change back into our work clothes. And minutes afterward, in their arrow car, he's really borrowing pretty heavily from Batman.
Yeah.
Looting the yacht club. They have blown up the river bridges, and great cats, GA. They've blown the only bridge. We can't get across. Prepare the rocket booster arrow, Speedy. It'll fly over the river and strike their getaway car. Jeeps, GA, you're firing off target. I have to. The flaming boosters might fall on the ferry passengers when they drop off in midair.
Ooh.
Look at that. Green Arrow missed us. He never missed before. Of course not. But this time he had to shoot wide to avoid letting the boosters fall on the ferry, and it was the only arrow he could use. Like how they have to explain that twice in successive panels. Like,
right.
Yeah, he just said that. And 2 days later at the Hanford Oil Company, gosh, GA, we can't risk piercing that oil tank. Sparks from it could ignite it.
Right, Speedy.
And our lariat arrows are out because that railing would ensnare the rope. Got to use the boxing glove arrows, but Genius was right. Those boxing glove arrows couldn't go this far. They have too much wind resistance. You needed Genius to tell you that? To just get further away? Right, and Green Arrow knew his ordinary arrows would set fire to the oil. Gosh, they escaped. 2 bad breaks in a row. First we couldn't fire the booster arrow right, now this.
This one seems like it's not specific that Genius knew this info. They just were robbing a place
Yeah, you
where
don't
they...
have to be a genius to figure out to just stand out of range or to stand by something dangerous.
Right.
Meanwhile, Genius makes elaborate plans. Park, steel fence, bake, streets, not that elaborate. Everything's
His
just squares and
charts are
rectangles.
Kinda,
Now we are ready. Before Green Arrow can suspect my original scheme, we shall make one vast raid on the shopping center bank. I want you two to paint the steel wall alongside the bank so that it looks like wood. It will ensure our escape route through the park where Green Arrow won't be able to see us in the foliage.
Oh.
After this, we'll never have to pull another job. Look, the newspaper says Green Arrow's slipping. And so the next night, when the Emerald Archer and his young assistant answered the shopping center alarm, here he comes. Boy, is that character in for a surprise. Yeah, thanks to you, Genius. A wooden fence, Speedy. Time to use our handcuff arrows. Ha! My judgment is perfect. Green Arrow always uses his handcuffed arrow when firing against a wooden background, and he has no way of knowing this wall is really steel. Suddenly, the piercing sound of the two swift arrows renting the air, and I think it's rending, usually. Bullseye, Speedy, one for me, and another for me. Two more to go. Something went wrong. Hurry into the park where Green Arrow can't see us. Yeah, Genius can protect us there. What? The handcuffs arrow held in the steel fence, but that's impossible. It was a fluke. Some flaw in the steel let them stick. He's readying his radio-controlled arrow. I'll fix him this time. Our radio-controlled arrow will save us the time finding those thugs in the foliage. The unique shaft is released, and now to send it back at the Green Arrow. Even he can't dodge it as I direct it back at him. But the weapon does not turn back. The radio arrow caught us. Something went wrong. Gotta get out of here. That rounds them all up, GA. We've recovered all the money. Yes, Speedy, but look, our arrow car has been sabotaged. We've got to get to him. Then as Genius tries to escape, at least you won't grab me, Green Arrow. Only a booster arrow could catch me now, and you wouldn't dare fire over the heads of these kids. There are a lot of, like, double-decker buses in America. The skunk. He's using those kids to protect himself against our booster arrow.
What the heck happened?
Has Green Arrow gone mad? He's firing his booster arrow over the heads of those kids. Wide-eyed with surprise, the children watched the first tiny rocket booster drop off, down toward them. Oh, look! It vanished into thin air. Meanwhile, the arrowhead crashes into the speeding car ahead. Yeah! Crash! But I had everything worked out perfectly. You couldn't suspect what I did. I made special steel piercing handcuff arrows. Speedy jammed your radio so it wouldn't affect my radio arrow, and special explosive caps disintegrated the falling booster as for suspecting you. That really wraps things up in
one sentence almost.
Yeah.
One run
this,
on
that,
sentence.
and the other happened, and you're done. We saw you pick up on the radio-controlled arrow on the TV in our car. Our TV arrow was in a tree observing you. Not even why do you gotta even make it arrow themed at the point? Just put a surveillance camera. But you don't. Not everything's gotta be an arrow.
Right.
You're too on theme. He's going overboard with that theme. Looks like somebody's out to beat us. So we were alert until we realized what we were up to, and then changed our arrows to outwit you. Let's go, Genius. Where you're going, they'll change your name to a number. The end.
That's crazy.
It's funny they've been doing this style of advertisements from 1955.
Oh, wow.
We see these in some of the 70s and 80s comics still.
Yeah, we
Different
do.
form, but look, a real live pony. Once in a lifetime.
Wow.
Ooh, prize set at 4 official United Nations stamps. You think the kids back in the 50s were like, we love the UN! The UN! We love it! Men, women, boys, girls, yours for only 1 cent. This stunning assortment of 21 all-occasion greeting cards. You won't be asked to return it. Just to prove how easily a few spare hours can earn you $50 cash. Never before a get-acquainted offer to match this. What every boy wants is some floral print greeting cards.
Some gladiolas on your cards.
Oh, I love these really old comics, though. They're goofy. Yeah, it's a kind of a sinister...
I'm Uncle Harry.
Didn't scan very well. That's a little creepy.
No. He looks like he's in the Bush family, though.
Full-size ukulele.
Ooh.
Chemistry set. The golden trumpet.
Nice. Gold-plated locket set.
Pretty travel case. Air Champ radio kit. Maybe you could do radio control arrows with that. So anyway, that's a little look into the 1950s of comic books, and we're about to jump into the 60s, I believe.
Well, and this is
low
one.
battery warning, but we got 20%, so I think we're good.
Yeah, we have a comic that I bought over at Pops, was it?
For the dollar bin from. Okay, it's 74. My mistake. I thought it was 60s. Where Monsters Dwell number 30.
Yeah.
With a massacred cover.
And of course, can you guess why I grabbed this? Because I saw
The Thing.
And this is the exact...
And it looks like the typeface of Ben Grimm, The Thing.
But it totally isn't. But it's Stan Lee. So, of course, you know, anybody who knows me knows I would have grabbed it. And I thought, what did they do to the thing?
Gosh, they put like a weird 10-cent stamp on it or something.
Yeah.
So
So-
it's a little underwhelming to flip a cover that's only
Look-
it's like a saloon door or something.
Yeah. So the thing in the black box, what this is, and we've done our mystery or our supernatural comics. This is Marvel's.
It's like an anthology series.
Yes,
a few short
presents
stories.
Where Monsters Dwell in the black box.
Well, I hate getting a defaced comic, but usually where Monsters Dwell, you're going to pay $10 or $15 for an old issue of that.
Oh, yeah.
In pretty
Oh,
good
yeah.
condition. So for $1 to get one of them, that's not too bad.
So our first story, I'm just an ordinary guy, but the experience I'm going to relate is anything but ordinary. It began while I was on a vacation cruise, which suddenly turned into a nightmare. We're sinking! Abandoned ship! Thank heavens we got off in time. But one person didn't get off in time. Me. Of course, me. Dang it! It was, for 2 days, I clung desperately to the driftwood. Fine mess you're in, Dan Harper. We just had a Harper in your comic.
Oh, yeah.
And finally, I reached a small tropical island. Just my luck. It's uninhabited. Probably aren't any animals, even. But when I walked to the top of a hill, I got the surprise of my life.
It's like he's on Amazon Island or something.
You're right? He goes, a beautiful woman. You, whoever you are, please help me open this box, please. And he gets enchanted by her beauty, and that's all he could think is, how? Well, she's so beautiful. There's something strange and ominous about it. And yet, the girl is so lovely and innocent looking, I can't refuse her. Smitten by the strange girl's beauty, I let it get the best of my judgment. All right, I'll try to break it open for you. So he breaks off a stick, and he jams it in there and opens the box. But what?
What a goofy-looking monster.
I know. What's that inside? So this thing crawls out, and of course I'm like, okay, well, this definitely is not the thing. What sort of monster is that? She's all happy. Ha! You fool! In your ignorance, you have given me back my power. Now the world will belong to me, to Pandora.
Oh, no.
He goes, Pandora. The name hit me like a thunderclap. I remembered the ancient Greek legend. It was Zeus, chief of the Olympian gods, who had given the lovely Pandora a tightly sealed box. Never open this box, Pandora. Never. Like, really? Which is something about the gods. It's like, really? You're going to have them talk like a human? Don't open it. Don't do it. Don't.
Big Jim's muscle mover. Oh, you can chop through boards. Must be a very small board.
They can hit 3-pointers. Knock the ball out of the park. Yeah. So.
The eyes on that thing.
She sends him
Is
out.
that the same thing as that? Oh, it's various monsters. Are
Right.
coming out. I see. Okay. He's kind of looking. A little
He's like,
soft
I don't
there.
know about you. So she sends the monsters out to take over the world. And Dan Harper's like, no. And she goes, or he yells, stop him. Don't let him grow anymore. Don't set him against the world. Your pleas are useless, mortal. Too long have I waited for this moment. So she sends him out. Yeah, that face. He takes flight. And a moment later, the grim purpose of the fantastic feat was all too apparent. Surrender to Pandora, or I shall release the water. He grabs up all the water off the coast of Japan. And they're like, if he does that, we'll all drown. So they're like, we must do as the demon commands. And after Japan capitulated, the menacing monster attacked the other foreign countries.
All the other ones.
All the other ones.
Japan and every other foreign country.
But so they're
He pulls an invisible woman.
yeah.
Or he becomes intangible. He gets more like a shadow.
As they shoot their rocket
Very
X's,
Nazi-looking
yeah,
insignia there.
they go right through him. He becomes mist, and it goes right through him, and past all the many defenses flew the giant creature until he reached a large metropolis. He's sinking our city, or he's making our city descend into the earth. We are sinking! Surrender to Pandora, mortals, or you shall vanish from the earth forever. We surrender. Spare us, spare us. So everywhere he goes, he he conquers everyone. It commands me to serve Pandora, to obey Pandora. Pandora is good and wise. She is our ruler.
Jack Kirby loved his monsters.
Yes, and he has fun with this one. Surrender to Pandora. So he makes a ring of fire over this city. We surrender. Don't lower the flame anymore. The heat is unbearable. Call back the flame. It goes well, my mistress. Soon all earth shall be under your control. Good. Continue your work, my pet. Ha ha ha. Pandora, wait. It was I who opened the black box for you. In return for that service, I ask you, grant me one request. Have your monster transport me to the nearest mainland. Let me take my place with the rest of mankind. So she lets him. And he's on the closest mainland.
Oh, he's riding on him.
Yeah, right? He looks like a big cat. Big cat demon bus. And the nearest continent was Australia. So he gets on board. He goes, and we can defeat her just by the use of
You
mirrors.
can tell it's Australia because they have that weird hat.
Yeah. And he goes, I'm sure of it. It's certainly worth a try. And so after getting his request, they go back in the small boat. And he sets up this circle of mirrors securely in the ground so that she can't overturn them. And then in the morning, quietly, while she's sleeping.
Yeah, how does he do that without waking her up?
In the morning, Pandora awakened with a frantic cry. Ah, mirrors, take them away. I cannot endure them. You were right. Take them away. And she looks up, and she's so old. And she's looking, but the mirror. Okay, so she hypnotizes herself and everyone else to see her as young, but she cannot hypnotize the mirror, and she can't bear to look at herself old. And Pandora, listen to me. If we take away the mirrors, you will order your monster back to return to the black box. Yes, I'll do it. I'll do anything you say. Remove the mirrors, please. And so the menace was ended. Return to the box. Remain there evermore. As you command, mistress. When the monster was inside the box, we sealed it and buried it deep in the earth. Pandora insists on remaining there. She will spend the rest of her days on that island thinking herself young and beautiful. How strange that our entire world was saved because of a woman's vanity. The end.
What?
I know.
Did we zip through a part where she talked about not looking at her?
No.
Reflection? That was kind of came out of nowhere.
It came out of nowhere.
Oh, wow.
Oh, he's a weird.
Must be the Rizzler. It's his first appearance.
Oh, that's funny.
13
so 13
years. Oh my
years.
gosh, these tree folk.
This splash panel there really had me convinced that they were gonna get supernatural and blah blah blah. And he's asking, would you sacrifice 13 years of your life for enough wealth to put you on Easy Street until the day you die? He's asking a question, and we open with this man on his way home from work. He gets the red light. He's like, nothing's working out for me. When he hears gunshots over here, he's like, oh, holy smokes, it's a robbery. And the robbers come over and jump on his running boards and tell him, take off. And so he does, and as he accelerates, he punches the first guy, so knocks him off. And then the second guy, he runs really close to the sidewalk and jams him into a pole. And he takes off for home. He's like, oh my gosh. I can't stop. The bullets are hitting the back of my car. And then he travels on towards home, and he stops. He goes, whew, boy, am I glad that's over. That rear end looks like a sieve. And hey, what's that in the back seat? And he opens up this box of jewels. He's like,
oh, wow.
It's filled with jewels. It's the stuff. They threw it in as they jumped on his car. And as he's driving home, he's thinking, and it occurs to him, nobody knows about these jewels. I could just take these and start over. So he dumps his car into the lake, abandons his wife, and goes to the next town. His plan is he's going to get a job. He's going to let the heat kind of cool off, and then he'll trade him in. But as it turns out,
it's a great facial expression.
Yeah, Jack Kirby does great faces, and he becomes.
Kirby do all the stories in this
I believe he
collection?
does. And
The detail almost looks different to me. Oh, this is originally presented in Spellbound 22.
okay, so it's a different
I
one.
don't see a credit for the artist. Maybe he did do them all.
And he becomes super paranoid, trying to hold on to his gems. His life goes down the drain. He becomes basically homeless, staying in, crappy little motels. And finally, he's like, I can't stand it any longer. It's time. I've got to cash them in. So he takes them to a jewelry store, just a handful of them.
Dude, how convenient. Trade in your jewels. There's a sign. You see those all over.
Right.
Oh, another jewel trader. Gotta go get my jewels out of
So
here.
he goes in, he tries to dress up so he doesn't look so despondent. I'd like to cash these stones, please. Sure. Nice looking gems. And he sticks his loop into his ear or into his eye, and he looks. He goes, had me fooled for a while, mister. They're pretty good imitations. I'll give you $10 for the bunch. He goes, huh? You mean they're fakes? Are you sure? He goes, okay, I'll take the $10. And on his way back to the hotel, and he thinks about he gave up his wife and his kid and his job. He goes into after walking and torturing himself with his thoughts for hours, I made up my mind how to spend that $10. I went into a hot shop and laid the bill down on the counter. Give me a revolver, please, and one bullet.
Oh my God. Dark ending.
I know. It's like the earth is saved because of a woman's vein, and then this guy's like,
one bullet,
what?
please. I only need the one. Okay, so there's different artists. This one says Gil Walton.
Okay, Gil
I
Walton.
was going to say some of it looked a little atypical for Kirby.
True. And so this is the man who wasn't. And Dr. Wright, if your serum works as you claim, it should, these old people will look upon you as their savior. So he invented a youth serum. And he comes to this old age hospital to find victims or people to test it on. And they're like looking for the oldest guy. And so they settle on this. At first I thought it was a werewolf story because look at the guy. He goes in the corner.
Yeah, sinister.
Yeah, in the center of the corner of the dormitory, the attendant points to a wrinkled, withered old man whose sunken features and bent body speak of time almost. Right.
He looks like he's got a furry face.
And they ask him what he remembers, and he said, "We've been here since the Civil War."
Oh my
like,
God!
What? And he can't quite believe what he goes. I don't remember anything else. He was here during the Civil War. Why, that was almost 100 years ago. Old age could play tricks on a man's mind, doctor. Why not check his file? So he goes in to check his file, and as he's looking, it turns out that he was from before the Civil War, and he goes, Adam, how far back do you remember things? I remember nothing. Leave me. He doesn't want to take part in this experiment. And so they take him and they do some tests on him because they can't, how can he be this old? And they take him down. This was a weird panel because they're doing x-rays, but it's like he's peeking over the x-ray machine.
See anything good in there?
Yeah, it's bizarre. And when they look, this man has no heart. And these lungs, they're not human lungs. I'd swear they were constructed to breathe in some atmosphere not like ours. And so they decide to give him the serum. It's like, what? Why are you doing that?
He has no organs. Might as well shoot him up.
Yeah. And so he's laying there and his wrinkles start to disappear. He's like, no, doctor, stop the serum, stop it. I adopted this old body deliberately. If I go back to my youth, I'll revert to my true form. And they'll see, when I change to my true form, that's the signal. And they're like, what? He's kind of senile. What is... And again.
He didn't look that human to begin with.
Exactly. And again, in half-sobbing whisper, Adam begs them to stop. I can feel it. I'm changing back to my true form. I didn't want to hurt you. I didn't want to hurt you then. Stop the serum before it's too late. Look, the serum's working. He is young again. It works.
He looks great. So youthful.
And then there's no longer even the slightest resemblance of something human. No, it must be some mad hallucination. And outside, a dazzling flash of light is seen, and a weird craft jets into view. Doctor, look! And inside the alien ship, a strange planetary creature looks at a view screen, whose scanner beam penetrates all walls. After all this time, our agent has finally abandoned his earthly disguise and reverted to his true self. That is the final signal. Yes, tell them all, to all the others who have been waiting. Now we know we can safely land and conquer
waiting
Earth.
100 years.
Right?
It's going to turn any day now. And why would a youth serum make him such a weird twist?
Yeah, these are bizarre little stories.
You can tell a story is going to be well thought out when it's 4 pages long.
Right?
Gosh, that art style
That's got to be Crumb.
Yeah,
That's got that mouse. Yeah, it's got to be. All right, just
my gosh.
suppose. So here in this story,
this is Marvel Tales reprint 129. I didn't know Marvel Tales did stuff like this.
Tony
Mortellaro? Mortellaro, I think.
So here we have a writer who is out of ideas, and he goes to the woods and rents a cabin. He's like, okay, I'm going to get some ideas. And he stood at the window listening to the woods sounds, looking into the night. He had to get an idea. Something new, something weird, something different. A shooting star. Wish upon a star. I wish I could think of a plot. Hey, wait a minute. That star. Just suppose it wasn't a star. So he's just supposing his way out in the woods. He's like, just suppose it lands. And so he stops and he looks and he sees, instead of like, I thought it was going the, alien, he sees this
looks
creature.
Like it's got a dark phoenix eye. It's all whited out.
He goes, wow, it gave me a start beginning to believe my own story. Just a dog. But is it just a dog?
It's like a kangaroo with earthworms for arms.
Yes. So he's like, okay, well, so this is where it gets weird. Strange, like a dog, but it isn't. You're a strange looking beast, but friendly, aren't you? Where did you come from? He petted its head and laughed. There was something so warm and friendly about the beast. He goes, well, since we have met each other this way, I'm inviting you to my cabin. I'll see if I can rustle up something to eat. And that's it, of course. You must be one of those genetic experiments they've been doing on animals at the school, producing mutants by radioactivity. Somehow you got free and have been roaming the woods trying to find someone to take care of you. So he takes it home, feeds it, and it's eating everything. It's even eating the cans the food comes for. But it likes him. So he lets it sleep, and he's
got like the J. Jonah Jameson haircut.
Oh, yes, but he's got puppy eyes. And so it slept right next to him in the bed, and he's looking, oh, maybe they'll let me keep you for a pet. And in the morning he wakes up, and it got really big overnight. He goes, either you've grown or I need new glasses. So he's looking around for something to eat. He sits down, he's going to write a little bit, and he goes, I'll let it rest for a while. Meanwhile, I'll build a cage for you. You're getting so big, I'm afraid you'd scare someone to death if you went wandering off. So he goes outside to the axe, and each panel, I'm like, what's going to happen?
Yeah,
That's
how
crazy.
They're highlighting the different things that could be weapons.
And so he builds it a cage, and he's like, hey, don't look so sad. I'll let you out when it's bedtime. Golly, I hate to part with you. Maybe they'll let me keep you. So he's going to he doesn't have a phone, so he's going to go to the school and find them. But as he opens the door, he sees another shooting star. He goes, stars don't make that kind of sound. The shooting star vanished. The whirling stops. Then out of the woods, no, it can't be. And this creature, much bigger, comes walking in, and they're unfastening the cage door. They're prostrating themselves as though he's some kind of royalty, a prince of some strange place, just reaching maturity. What a weird thing to think. And they take him. He goes, it's unbelievable. And he's watching, and he rubbed his eyes. Was he dreaming? There was an empty cage. Wait a minute. The story. There's the ending. The spaceship comes back. Creatures from another world come for their prince, then take him away. He's like, well, that's true. No, that won't do. There's got to be a twist. And hey, wait, put me down.
They boxed him up?
They bring him and bring the cage, and they took him into the woods to it was a spaceship. And what was more incredible, his pet was there, tears streaming from his eyes. But smiling at him. It held him close, making crooning noises as the ship rose from Earth like a meteor. And then it spoke, its voice halting but kind. I could not leave you. I love you so much. I could not go back to my home planet and leave my pet behind.
Aww.
I will love you and care for you well, my wonderful pet.
You can talk now?
Puts them into the cage. And they take off. And then a thought flashes across his mind, a thought that brought a wry smile to his lips, checking the screams of hysteria that trembled there. The perfect ending, the twist ending for the story that will never be published. And I'd have called it Just Suppose. And that's...
What a weird twist. What a weird creature, those kangaroo-like things with worms for arms.
Yeah. I'd have to say Marvel makes some interesting,
that was a
dark...
fun one. Goofy
stories.
Very goofy.
You know, the Pandora one was kind of... Oh,
the creature's not even green and the inside's purple.
Right. And then they have to, like, jab you with, a vain woman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but then the other ones get dark and... Yeah. I'd have to say that was
These
the
old
first...
comics are really fun to read sometimes.
They really are.
And it shows you 55 and 74 in almost 20 years. They're both pretty goofy.
They're both, yes.
Just in different ways.
Yes.
All right,
Fun.
well, if you enjoyed this episode, give us a comment and like and subscribe. And thanks for watching.